Hey everyone, welcome to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith. I'm here at GTS Distributions Come and Play Day in Atlanta. And I'm with Ryan Laukat of Red Raven Games. You brought a little something here with you.
I do.
Above and Below. This was on Kickstarter, but it's gone out to backers now. I believe, when's it coming to retail?
So the street date is November 11th.
2015.
Yes.
So let's take a quick look here, because this game, from the cover, it's got quite a bit of atmosphere. We've got, it looks like an adventure here with a lantern heading out. We've got some creatures below.
Right, mulling around down there.
What's the theme of the game? What's the setting?
The basic story is you lived in a village somewhere, barbarians came out of nowhere and attacked you. So you had to run away, you grab...
Barbarians always do that.
I know, they're terrible. They get in the way.
So they ransack your village.
So they ransack your village, you grab the baby, you grab your fishing pole, you run away, you travel quite a ways, and you reach this new place. It's time to build a new village.
Okay.
Yeah. So you build a little house, and you're getting used to the area, and you find this cave that leads down to a gigantic underworld. And the underworld is huge. It's full of civilizations and creatures and monsters and traders and whatever you could think of.
So the gameplay is going to take place both above and below this land that you're in now.
Right.
Okay. Well, why don't we go to the table? Maybe you can tell us, we've got a lot of components on here. Maybe you can take us on a quick tour of sort of what you start the game with and how you use some of these items to advance your growing town. Or what would this be, like a little civilization?
Yeah, it's like your little community, a little civilization.
Okay.
So every player gets this little player board, and on it, those are your 3 villagers. So everyone has a unique picture, every villager does.
Right.
Even though they're the same for each player.
Okay.
You have your villagers and you tell them to go do jobs.
Right.
Yeah, and each time you tell them to do a job, you just slide them over here. Where there's a little moon, that means they're tired, they worked all day.
Sure.
So.
And what kind of actions can they do? What sort of things do we have?
Yeah, so you can tell them to go labor, which can get you more coins. That's one of the things you want to get in the game. Got to get those coins.
Yes.
You can have them train new villagers to be able to do jobs. And up here you can see there are a bunch of new villagers, even a little frog guy.
Yes, I see that. All right. I mean, you might have to catch some flies.
Right. So when you train them, you can add them to your village.
Okay.
Now the cool thing is, each of these villagers, they have unique abilities.
And is that these symbols here, like the hammer I'm seeing and the feather pen?
Yeah. So the hammer means that he's a good builder. So there's a whole array of buildings you can choose from.
Yes.
That you can buy over here. You just use that guy to go build.
Right.
Somebody with a hammer, and then you pay the cost. There's like a coin cost on each one.
Okay, so this would cost you 8.
Right. And then you can it's cool because you can sort of build your little village landscape.
The art.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. That is nice. Right.
Yeah. So you watch it kind of grow. Each building gives sort of a different ability. This one here would let you, so when you build it, you would put these little paper tokens on it.
So these are some goods that you've collected, or you have the potential to collect?
Yeah, the potential to collect. And that actually leads me to the next thing you can tell your villagers to do. You can go tell somebody to go over to the paper house and make some paper, or study, or get this resource basically.
Yes.
Now the thing that really sets the game apart, I think, is the exploring the cavern. That underworld.
Right, because everything we've done here is above ground, right? So far.
Right.
So how do we get into the underground?
So you take this card here. These are unexplored caves. So you'll take one of these cards.
Yes.
You'll put it down by your player board, and then you get to choose who's going to go. Now the thing is, you can't just send one villager because they need a buddy. It's a little too dangerous down there to go alone.
It's dark.
You would choose 2 or more people to go. Actually, I'm going to leave it up to you to decide who you want to send and how many you want to send.
I definitely want to take the frogman, if that's okay.
All right.
I feel a kinship there, and I think she's the one who rescued this guy and trained him up.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
She trained him up.
That's right.
And she's bringing him along, kind of like a little protege, going to test him out, see if he's properly trained for this.
Okay.
This delve.
Yeah.
All right. So I hope I've chosen wisely. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. So we'll put these guys on this card to show they've gone down to the cave. Let's have you roll a die.
Okay. Here we go.
We'll find out what happens.
All right. I rolled a 3.
So that means we are going to read a paragraph.
A paragraph from where? I wonder if it's from this book, when I saw it, I was like, wow, there's a lot of rules in this game. No, this is not rules. This is like adventure story text and decisions and everything else. Listen, I'll hand this over to you.
Yeah, we rolled this here, and that would be normally the paragraph you would read.
Yes. You're going to give me your own personal selection?
Yes.
Oh, I like
this time you would hand, when you're playing this game, you hand it to your friend and they get to read it to you.
Okay.
So, your party arrives at a chamber lined with azure waterfalls. Large fireflies glow like torches, zipping lazily through the moist air, following their own reflections in a deep pool at the bottom of the chamber. As you wander, more and more fireflies gather around you until all you can hear is an intense, maddening buzzing. Do you try to fight off the fireflies or attempt to calm them?
Oh, I brought the frog with me. I had no idea. This was not planned. I brought the frog, and we got fireflies.
Yeah. So we'll see here. So now I give you two choices.
Okay.
So you can fight the fireflies for 3, or you can attempt to calm the fireflies for 4 or 7. Now the number is how hard it is to do.
I kind of feel like our trainer would be wanting to calm them, and I feel like the frog would just want to eat them up. And so I think he would get away from her, and he would actually attack them.
Okay. All right.
So
right.
So what do I do now? How do I test this?
Yeah. So we got to see if they succeed. So now you actually get to roll for each villager.
All right.
So when you roll, you gotta say who it's for.
Okay. Sure. So am I rolling one at a time?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to roll for her first.
Yep.
And it's a 5.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll for the frog.
Frog guy. Okay.
He didn't do so well.
Didn't do quite as well, but he's pretty good at exploring.
In general. Okay.
Yeah, and just in general. So, so this symbol right here means that a 2 or higher will get you 1 lantern.
Okay. So if I'd rolled a 1, no lantern, but she's pretty good, so anything would have got me at least 1, pretty much.
Right.
So I got 1 lantern.
Right. And even though you rolled a 2 here, you still got.
He only needed 1, and he starts with 2 as his lowest. But if I'd rolled a 5 or 6, 3 lanterns.
Right.
Got it.
Right.
So I got 3 lanterns.
Yep, that's right.
That's how many I needed, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how many you needed because you chose to fight them off.
Right. If I tried to calm them, that would have been a fail.
Yeah.
I needed 4, right? Okay. So what happens now?
Yeah. Okay. So
besides him having a full belly.
Right. So sometimes I'll just give you a reward, and I might even make up kind of how it happened.
Sure.
There's sort of a little story. You can sort of make up stuff. This one actually has a paragraph I'm going to read. So it says, let's see, you attempt to swat the fireflies away with your weapons and walking sticks. The insects turn a deep, angry red and swarm you, stinging and biting.
Oh dear.
As a last resort, everyone throws themselves into the pool. The fireflies lose interest and fly away, leaving you cold and wet, along with some painful injuries you won't soon forget. At least when you dove into the pool, you were able to find a few coins shining in the darkness.
Okay.
So
you get a little perk here.
Yep, you did. So you got 4 coins.
Which I'll get to bring back to my community here.
Yep,
okay.
That's right.
Excellent.
And so you actually have to injure 1 villager in this case.
I think it's going to be the impulsive frog, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which hopefully he'll learn a lesson. Now, injury, is that
this goes in that
column?
final column. Yep.
And does she stay here? Does she come back now exhausted?
So now she's done. She goes back and she's tired. She spent the day down in the caverns.
Okay. So what do we do with this now that it's resolved? Is that discarded, or how does that work now?
So you actually keep this card. It's one of your rewards for exploring. It's actually one of the biggest parts of exploring. So the thing is, you need this card to build some of these underground outposts here. You can see there's a whole row of buildings that are underground. So you had to go find a good spot for
explore there first.
Yep.
And then what do these? If I buy one, is it like a attach, or how does that work?
Yeah. So you just place it right over the top.
It covers it. Okay.
Covers it up.
Right.
So each time you want to build one of these, you need an empty cave card.
All right. Interesting. Yeah. So now we're digging into the caves. Then we're putting stuff in there.
Right.
Bringing it to life a little bit. All right. Well, I've been using these characters here, and they're going to these spots. What happens at the end of the round? Do these come back so I can use them again, or how does that work?
Yeah. So let's say you had used them all up,
Sure.
and that means the day's over. Everybody's tired.
Yes.
So you slide them back. So you can slide 1 villager per bed that you own in your village. So you can see this starting building gave you 3.
Right.
So now it's up to you. You could slide these 3 back.
Yes.
And then he would have slipped out in the mud, and so he's too tired.
That didn't heal him at all.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Or you could move him like this. Now, because he was injured, he's got to spend 2 days in bed because he
Okay, so each bed lets you move them one space back towards being rested again. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Now the thing is, somebody couldn't sleep in 2 beds in one night and get back to.
I see. So I couldn't if I had my 3 beds go 1, 2.
Right.
Right. Okay. Sure. I'm gonna sleep in this bed.
Stretched
then
out
run over here
over 2 beds. Or run over.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's how that works.
So how does the game come to its eventual conclusion here? How does the game?
Yes.
How does it end? Yeah.
So there are 7 days. So you do that 7 times. They'll sleep 7 days, and you mark it on this little track right here.
Right.
When you get to the end, you count up. They're called village points. So whoever has the best village is going to be the winner. So each building is worth a village point.
Right.
Some buildings are worth extra. So like this building here, you can see it has the 2.
Okay. So yeah, if I got this, I get an extra bed. That seems good. So then the frog has a bed to sleep in.
Right.
And also points for the end of the game. Okay.
Right. So this is technically worth 3 points.
Right, because you get the 2 here plus the 1 just
Plus
for being
the 1
a building.
just because it's a building.
All right.
Yep. There's another aspect we haven't really covered. Like, remember when we got this paper?
Yes.
What do you do with this? Well, you can put it down, and this is called your advancement track.
Yes.
When you put it down here, it increases your income. Every round you get some money. Every day you get some money.
Right.
But it also is worth points at the end of the game. So this tells you how many points paper is now worth for you.
Oh, so if you get this, or I guess let's say we had like another paper in here, or whatever, and then, so is this like a fruit or something, right?
Yeah.
So fruit is worth 2, or how does this?
Yeah. So before we jump into that, actually, once you put paper somewhere, all other paper you got to put in the same spot.
Oh, so now it's permanently. That's 1 point.
Right.
So if fruit's here, all my fruit's going to be 1. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So the thing is, you can save stuff for later if you think you're going to get a bunch, because down this row you can see they're worth quite a bit more. Yeah. Right. So you might put fruit here. You might put ore right here. And then, let's say you got 3 amethysts. You put those there. They're each worth 3 points. That could be a lot of points.
And the player with the most points at the end of the game wins, because they've created the best village in this new area that they come to explore.
Right.
Can I see that book for a second?
Yeah.
I was mentioning this is quite thick. It's got a lot of pages here. There is a bunch of entries in here. How many entries are there here?
So there are over 200 entries. Yeah, even if you're familiar with an entry, reading it again, there are different outcomes if you choose a different option.
Yes. And there's enough entries here, I have to think, like, before you start repeating entries, you probably played it a few times.
Definitely.
Some repetition. This must have been something else. I do want to quickly mention, this is something that's often commented on about your games, is that you both design, you publish, you do the artwork, you wrote the rule book.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of these entries too, I assume?
Most of the entries, my wife actually wrote a couple, and my good friend Alf Siegert, he's another game designer.
Which is awesome, and it also means if you don't like the game, you know exactly who to blame.
No, right.
Ryan, I think it's an impressive endeavor. It looks visually just really appealing, and I can see why people are excited about the game. And thank you for taking the time to sit here and give us a quick overview. But yet, despite being quick, we got to see lots of little details in here, and I'm sure there's lots more to explore. We got other tokens in here we didn't even talk about, but hopefully that gives you enough to be intrigued. And if you want to look into it further, you can go to Red Raven Games website, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Check out information there. And you said again it was going to be releasing
November 11th is the street date.
So give that a look. Thanks again, Ryan. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And to all of you, until the next episode, thanks for watching.